Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And in this video, I did some small cell testing around El Paso. Now, I know at grand scale, T-Mobile does not have small cells in most markets. They really put small cells in markets where they have very high market share penetration, like very, very high at the very top. And El Paso is one of those markets at over 50% market share. And same with New York, Chicago, some in Phoenix as well, LA, some of those bigger markets, they did use small cells on a more larger scale. But unfortunately, they did use strand mounts instead of C-RAN. They have very few C-RAN here, but they did use mostly strand mounts on around the 140, 150 small cells that they have live in this market. So what I was looking for today is performance. Does it perform any better than when I previously tested it? And I got to say no. It does serve its purpose. It offloads the macros. Some of these have LAA. Some of them have only band 2, band 4. None of them have low band. So they're mainly for capacity purposes. And as you can see, speeds are pretty solid from these strand mounts. They do good on upload and downlink. For the most part, there aren't a lot of issues with these. I did not test range, but it's not very great on LAA. Maybe about 0.3, 0.4 of a mile at best. So just keep that in mind. There's a lot of interference with LAA. So as you can see here, this is what the strand mount looks like. The white pieces right here. It's from Ericsson in this market. So I did some more closer testing to the strand mounts on some of these videos. On some of the videos, I was a bit further away. And I did notice immediately that the speeds did change as I got further away. So did LAA cut out? Potentially that could have happened. And did it kick back in as I got closer to the strand mount? So there's definitely several explanations for that. But overall, for most consumers, this will be fine. I'm sure in some of these areas that are in neighborhoods, they have these deployed surprisingly by a lot of high schools, by a lot of the stadiums, by the high schools, and then surrounding the high schools. But that also means that it's deployed by some of the neighborhoods that are nearby the high schools. So those are areas that they could monetize on home internet, especially with some of these strand mounts doing the speeds that you're seeing on the video. As you can see here, this is by one of the high schools. So they have them on these lines that you see above, on some of the electric lines. So you really don't notice them. If you don't know about wireless, you're just a consumer, you'll likely walk or drive right by them and never even notice them. So as you can see, most of these speeds were above 100 megabits per second. So capacity issues are really non-existent in these areas. So just to give you guys a quick conclusion there. So the testing was good. This is what I expected. I didn't really expect to see anything crazy on these. I think these were mainly put in during the time when they had no additional spectrum while the merger was going on. Between, I would say, 2017 and 2019 is when they heavily started installing these small cells on a standalone basis. They really had no other choice. They had high market share. They had high demand in this market. They didn't have any of the additional spectrum that they do now, thanks to the Sprint merger. So they had no choice but to add the small cells. And they did so, I would say, in pretty large volume. I would say comparing that to other markets. 140 to 150 small cells is a pretty good number, I would say. Although the strand mounts are not as effective as the C-RAN. They did do some C-RAN here in El Paso, but it's like I can count them on both of my hands on how many C-RAN they actually have in this market. But mostly they use strand mounts. Same in LA, from what I've been seeing. They have strand mounts in some of the areas where Verizon and AT&T opted to go with C-RAN. So Again, I just wanted to do this video to show you guys that T-Mobile did use some small cells where it benefited them the most, but on the larger scale, they have not opted to do small cell at the same volume as Verizon and even AT&T now. So I just wanted to leave you guys with the rest of this video so you guys can check that out. If you have been on the channel or you are new to the channel and you have not yet liked, shared, subscribed, make sure you do so. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when I do upload the content. Also follow my social media outlets for more updates and interactions. And this is Tyrone with Tech Life. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.